And now we're
Hello.
live.
Are we live? Are we rolling?
Yes, we
Hey
are.
guys! How
Hi,
you guys
everyone.
doing?
Happy Saturday to all of us.
Yes, happy Saturday, alright? We got wine, okay? Bring booze, as
Yeah.
mentioned on the event page. Alright, we're not hoping for a soft crowd today, okay?
It's
What we're
a
really gonna talk about,
celebration.
yes.
It's our
What we're really gonna
celebration.
talk
That's
about
why
is
we
a
have
celebration.
wine.
Correct.
Diba? It's our celebration because we, of course, you guys know we've launched our podcast last week. And we just want to take this time to thank all of you for supporting our launch and our pilot episode.
Yeah, so what you can expect today, actually, we're gonna be hihimayin natin ito, okay? We're gonna
Hihimayin.
Yes, hihimayin. Hihimayin. Okay? We're just how do you say that but in English? How do you say that? Hihimayin.
I don't know.
We're gonna talk about the layers, okay, that Em and I went through to be able to launch this podcast on Spotify. Hey, Jessica, how you doing?
Yeah.
All right. So
basically, we're just gonna have fun today, okay? Baka they might expect that we're super formal today. No, we're just
mahilig pa
going
naman
to
tayo mag-webinar. No?
Oo nga, baka akalain nila may webinar tayo today. No, this is not a webinar. This is just an online kwentuhan with all of you guys. Because again, we're very grateful that you have supported our pilot episode on our podcast. And of course, you can expect more. And super excited na kami to share more episodes with you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I think, what are we doing? Up to 3 to 4 p.m., right? Is that what we're doing?
We'll see.
We'll see. Sige. Pag nag-enjoy.
Treat to sawa.
Pag naubusan namin
Hi,
ng wine.
Clay! Si Teacher Clay.
Hi, Teacher Clay. How
Si
are
Teacher
you?
Clay, so remember, i-introhan ko na.
Sige.
Si Teacher Clay, ay, secret pala yun dapat. Pero nag-ask kami ng mga, gusto nilang itanong. Yan, gustong itanong ng mga tao sa atin, mga dating questions, especially online dating. Yan. And may question si Teacher Clay. Mamaya natin sasagutin.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get any questions from
oh my gosh. Guys, pansinin nyo daw si Alex. Yung mga posts niya, replyan nyo.
I didn't get any
Please
questions
lang.
from my network about online dating or anything.
Yes. Okay, so I mean, if you have just recently liked our page, okay, and baka kakakilala nyo pa lang sa amin, let's introduce ourselves naman. Baka new faces tayo sa kanila.
Oo nga.
Baka
Hi,
sa
Bianca.
podcast lang nila tayo narinig. Oh, hi Bianca.
Yes, so one of our goals here is to actually put a face behind the voice in the podcast. So yeah, I'm Alex. M, we're a couple. Okay?
Ano ba yun?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I start? I think so I guess I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of our relationship, outside of the podcast, I am an entrepreneur and I'm in the learning and development industry. I'm a corporate trainer, also a motivational speaker.
Ayan, parang webinar nang nangyayari.
Oo nga. Nag-iba yung boses ko.
Naging webinar voice. Hi, Lena! Ayan. Sige, that's it.
That's pretty much it. I don't want to talk about that boring stuff.
Okay, so for everyone who's just tuned in or who's just met me, my name is M. Wala, I'm just an average girl. But really, so I am what do? I do so many things. I'm a trainer, instructional designer, pound fitness instructor, etc. But my favorite label is I'm Alex's girlfriend. Yes, naman. Okay.
That was so
baduy. Aminin na natin. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So again, we would like to thank all of you for listening to our pilot episode. And if you haven't, punta na kayo sa Spotify, okay? We are Stories After Swipe Right on Spotify. And please, like our Instagram pages, our Facebook pages, and our YouTube pages. So, Alex, ang daming reactions, replies. I'm so overwhelmed with the love that we have received from our pilot episode. Thank you. So, what are, para din sa mga hindi pa nakakatch ano ba yung mga mapapakinggan nila dun sa pilot natin? What are some of our key takeaways in that episode?
So we'll give you a little bit of spoilers as well, but not too much. Okay, we've written down three takeaways here that we want to talk about.
Sinulat pa.
Yes. Okay. So for the people that don't know, our topic, our first podcast topic for our pilot episode is the dating game pre-pandemic versus new normal. So it's around a 30-minute episode, and we want to share to you some of our takeaways that we had realized after listening to it for the nth time. Okay. So you want to begin?
Yeah. So in that pilot episode, we talked about how the dating game has changed in this new normal, diba? So before kasi, it was, it's really different. And now, some people think na, ang hirap mag-date ngayon because pandemic, it's the new normal. But in that pilot episode, we actually highlighted so many things na pwede nating, isipin as advantages sa new normal dating. Okay? Ako yung favorite ko is now we have more time to get to know a person, 'di ba? Kasi nga mas technically and relatively slower. Our lives now are a little bit slower. Of course, it's starting to pick up again, but it's still relatively slower than before. And because of that, mas may oras tayo to get to know someone, especially if we're interested sa kanila romantically. And
I believe I gave a lot of tips on the pilot episode on how to be genuinely interested towards someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, asking empowering questions. That's what I gave out. But my main takeaway there was building foundations. Building foundations is my main takeaway there because Em mentioned that we have a lot more time to get to know someone. And as you're getting to know someone, you can actually already build those pre-relationship foundations that we talk about so intimately on our pilot episode. So building foundations would be one of my takeaways there. I believe I also said something along the lines of, I quoted Jim Rohn. If you guys don't know, he's one of the personal development fathers of the world today. And he said, whatever good things we build end up building us.
Yes.
So it was a wonderful quote, and that was actually super. That was impromptu. We recorded that podcast. We just had I think talk points lang yung meron natin doon. We just had like an outline.
Yeah, and honestly, we just
talked about it.
We spoke from experience, to be honest. Ayan. Si Bianca said yung favorite niya na alala sa pilot episode is #slow love. Ayan. Totoo naman yun. Actually, yun din yung isa sa mga favorite ko. Slow love. Slow love. Let it grow organically. Diba? I think, I remember we talked about starting from, kami kasi we started from a dating app. So, usap muna and text messages and then progress to, voice messages and then phone calls, video calls, and then eventually,
we met.
Meeting up. Ayan. Slow love, pakonti-konti, diligan natin ng maayos, di ba? Totoo naman yun, right? If it's super rushed, I'm not saying it's pangit, but I would say that slow love is a good way to go. Ayan. Online couples, let's go. Sabi niya.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And also, I think during our time right now, I don't think you can really rush this entire dating thing or this entire love thing, but you can find ways online on how to make it more interesting.
That's true. And let's always remember that it can happen for you. Have faith. There's still hope. Ayan. Ang dami kong friends na nag-comment or nag-repost also nung Spotify link, and they said may pag-asa pa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is true. Meron pa. No rush, no pressure.
Exactly.
Ah.
Yes, Jessica. Absolutely correct. Okay. There's nothing that you know. I think it might be. Is it? Are people having more expectations about being in a relationship now that it's a pandemic? I don't think there's no data that actually suggests that.
I would just say that people are a little prone to lonely nights. Yun lang siguro. Kaya feeling siguro nila, they want to be coupled up kasi nga, we're more prone to, what? Because we seldom see our friends live,
Yeah.
'di ba? Parang mas yung pagiging strong, pagiging strong independent woman ng mga tao or some of the single friends out there feel na feel nila. So I think it's from there. It stems from there. Yung parang feeling rushed. But Jessica is absolutely correct, She says no rush, no pressure.
Yeah, and you know, during a time where you might feel a little bit lonely, you might get a little bit of cabin fever, we'd love for you to tune in on Spotify, Stories After Swipe Right.
Yes.
There's
we'll
a
do
lot
our
of-
best to be funny.
Yeah, there's a lot
Hindi ko
of.
alam kung paano, pero we'll try our best.
There's a lot of. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm funny at all, but I know I'm
I think
awkward.
you are.
I know I'm awkward as fucking hell, right? I'm not sure if I'm totally funny. I know I'm awkward. That might be funny, but in the podcast, yeah. So our goal for the entire podcast is to give you guys inspiration, hope,
Yes.
and yeah, help you guys, make you guys laugh
Mhm.
during this time of pandemic.
Yeah. We just like to share with you a little bit about how we came up with our podcast and bakit ba natin naisipan mag-podcast. To be honest, ako
That's true.
personally,
Bakit nga ba?
I've always dreamt of having my own podcast. Bilang madaldal ako and I talk for a living. I've always wanted to have my podcast. But ito, I think hindi ko pa ito nasabi sa'yo. Pero
Yeah,
when we were just getting to know each other, and we were talking on the phone, diba? We mentioned sa podcast na 5 hours tayo magkausap, 3 hours.
Yeah.
I felt like you really sounded good. And I felt like,
Oh, really?
and
Thank
feeling
you.
ko, ang ganda natin pakinggan together. Yon.
I like to think so.
Diba? No, but seriously, I've always wanted a podcast because I feel like it's a good avenue to share your thoughts, to hopefully spark some inspiration to people. And yeah, that's why I proposed it to Alex. I just, kind of like mentioned it in passing. Sabi ko, I've always wanted to have a podcast. Nakakatawa pa nga kasi naalala
It was
ko,
your idea pala.
na-miss mo. And then binalikan mo lang yung reply.
I
Sabi
think I
mo,
did, yeah.
sorry, I missed this, ganyan. And yeah, it's interesting to have a podcast, ganyan. Diba?
For sure. Right? And,
So, may langaw pa. Ano ba yun?
oh my God, I didn't see
We're
that.
at home kasi.
And, what do you call that? One of the main things that we really took seriously in building this podcast is, number one, for anyone here who would like to start a podcast, especially with their significant other, is it's very important to treat it like a business. So when you treat it like a business, you will have a game plan, you'll have a strategy. And I think that's what helped us to really launch our podcast, take it seriously, and in the future, hopefully build a legacy out of this thing.
Yes.
Go
Yeah.
full
So
time.
go full time.
Yeah.
Yes, treat it like a business, but also don't forget to, fuel it with passion and have fun with every minute of it. So we came up with stories after Swipe Right. Kasi, ako, di ba? Honestly, I
Interesting
feel
title.
like ang tabu pa rin ng online dating ngayon. I still have friends na nahihiya pag nakikita sila sa online dating apps. Di ba? Parang, ayoko maglagay ng totoong picture kasi baka makita ko ng office mates ko. I'm like, what's wrong with online dating? Diba? Hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin tao na hindi masyadong comfortable with online dating. Feeling nila, I don't know, but some people still think na if you found love online, it's not as real, as organic. Alam mo yon? So, there are still people who think na nakakahiya mag-online dating. Guys, hindi po. It's not true. Ang saya mag-online dating. Ako, personally, gusto ko siya kasi it kind of fast-tracks everything in a sense na kaya ko na i-filter. Gusto ko ba to? Hindi ko ba to gusto?
Yes.
And you're already there because you know that you're seeking for a potential romantic interest.
We talked about that in the podcast as well, right?
Yes.
Some of the benefits about online dating. I think I talked about it being so cost effective. Yeah, I think there I was a little bit funny there. So for the people who have not listened to the podcast yet, you may wanna go on Spotify and listen to it now. There's a lot of tips on how to make online dating interesting, how to make online dating feel like it's what's the word you used earlier? Organic.
Organic, yes.
Yeah.
Oo, di ba? Masaya ang experience. Although, yun nga, I think we want to also testify to the truth and the realness of love that could grow from online dating, di ba?
Yes.
You can give it a try. Huwag kayo mahiya, guys. Okay? Hindi namin pinopromote ng full blast. Pero if it works for you and if you're interested, go.
If you're curious as well to know as saan kami nag-meet?
Para i-promote natin yung dating app. Di naman tayo sponsored nun.
Not yet. Maybe in the future. All right. But for context's sake, we are stories after swipe right after all, diba? So, we met at OKC.
Yes, OkCupid. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo yung colors ng logo, di ba?
So
di ba? Medyo OKC colors yan. Yes. OkCupid. Mag-download na kayo ng OkCupid. Baka may mahanap kayong Alex sa OkCupid. Yes. Actually, wala. Kasi isa lang to. Yeah! Wala, kasi isa lang.
When we got together,
we
both had deactivated our accounts.
Yeah, he did it in front of me.
I think I deleted my account. You just deactivated yours. So ibig sabihin,
I don't even know how that works. I don't know how that works, how the deleting thing works. But yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Can we quickly compare
dating apps?
Yeah, just one major dating app to another major one. So
Bumble and Tinder and OKC.
All right. Well, I don't have experience in Bumble.
Ako, I have a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Right?
Okay, yung mga Bumble friends natin dyan, mag-comment kayo. Let's go! I know some of my girlfriends are on Bumble.
I think
because Bumble is very liberating. Because kailangan...
That's an interesting word.
Because in Bumble, kailangan babae yung unang mag-message. So the match will expire if hindi mag-message yung babae. Diba? So I think that's a cool feature.
So, Em, while we're here, can you tell us a quick story about one of your experiences in Bumble when you had to message first? What do you say?
Yeah. You know what? That's the thing Kasi, so, di ba before, Tinder yung parang pinakang uso. Okay?
Yes.
Tinder yung uso. In Tinder, when I was in Tinder, wala, gusto ko lang magpaganda and hintayin sila mag-message. Ganon. Kasi sometimes, hindi ko rin naman talaga alam if I wanna take it seriously or not. I was just there because I was bored or I was like, I'm open for options but I'm not really taking it seriously. Sa Bumble, kailangan talaga medyo may game ng konti. It teaches women. Game. Like, hindi ka pwedeng pa-bebe. Yeah, hindi ka pwedeng pa-bebe flower lang. Diba? You have to, if you want it, come get it. Ganon. Ganon ang drama sa Bumble.
In contrast to what you said, I wanna highlight conversational skills. Because when I was on OKC, right? Although the girl can also message the guy in OKC. Is that
first?
Correct? Yeah. Or is that
No, you have to match first para mabasa niyo yung messages.
Nakalimutan ko na kasi. Right? But, when I was on Tinder and when I was on OKC. So, I don't know what the data suggests, but out of the top of my head, it's probably 90-10. 90% the guy messages first.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And finally you get that match and you message, try to start a conversation. witty line in the beginning and all of that, but the conversational skills of the woman is kind of,
pabebe lang. Like,
off par, man.
Like, what's that? Kunwari, so what do you do? What do you do in life? Tapos ang reply lang nila, I'm a nurse.
I'm like, what?
I'm a teacher. Ganon. Wala man lang ano.
I think what really captivated me
What
really captivated me about you virtually was the way M carried conversation.
Of course. I mean, joke lang.
Right? The way M carried conversation, that was really attractive to me. Although I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah, kasi nga I'm not. Kapag lang gusto kong kausap, I think ganun naman sa lahat, 'di ba? Kapag they also find you interesting, they'd be enticed to reply. So alam niyo na, girls and boys, kapag sobrang tipid mag-reply, wag na nating pilitin.
I think it's also about making an effort to respond.
Oo.
You
diba?
know?
Ang hirap kasi if the conversation is forced.
Which I think is super relevant right now. It's a pandemic. You can't meet right away. I think it would be creepy to Zoom call her or,
agad. Ano to, interview? Job interview.
Diba? But, you can, once again, ask interesting questions. Ask great questions.
And you can also already get a feel of kung interesting ba siyang kausap.
Depends on the question you ask, too.
Oo, pagka,
diba?
ako, to be honest, and alam nyo, super grateful ako and thankful ako kay Alex. He's not like that. Ayoko kasi yung nagtatanong agad ng mga sexual questions. Yung mga ganun, yung parang may agad. Ayoko ng ganun. Although, I mean, I'm not naman maarte about it, but konting game naman.
That's good.
Diba?
That's actually, I think that's a good thing to talk about right now. I think, remember you saying na online dating kanina, you said it was taboo?
Yeah.
Right?
Still, a little bit,
people.
yes.
I think that may be one of the major reasons why.
Kasi
maraming bastos dun. Or what?
Or cheap. Iniisip nila cheap kasi.
Yeah, cheap.
Iniisip nila cheap if you find love online. Well, the podcast is here. We're out there to prove you guys wrong.
Yes, we are. And, I think to talk about sex is great. As long as you are able to gauge based on your questions that she's got it in for you too. Or he's got it in for you too.
Yeah, share the same interest level muna. Wag yung parang napaka-aggressive naman.
Definitely.
Yun yung ayoko talaga before. Anyway, yeah, but in our podcast, we'll talk a lot about these stories.
Yeah,
and if you have stories that you'd like to share with us, or topics that you'd like us to talk about, i-message nyo sa amin. But generally, our vision and our goal, our dream for our podcast, vision napaka-ano. Parang may vision mission pala tayo. Hindi, yung dream namin for the podcast is to, number one, yun nga, to show that, to inspire couples na kahit organic kayo nag-meet or online, it's the same. Love is love. Diba? So we want to serve as an inspiration or like your go-to hub place podcast for kilig stories, funny stories.
Funny, yeah.
The good,
the good,
the bad. Laugh. Yeah, the good, the bad, and the crazy.
The crazy.
Diba? Ang dami naman kasi talagang funny stories online eh.
Yeah, and I don't think that's being shared enough. That's why we decided to name it Stories After Swipe Right. How do we come up with that name again, really quickly? How do we come up with that Stories After Swipe Right? I think we had... Okay, we decided on Swipe Right because we met online. So definitely Swipe Right was there.
Yeah, so...
But how do we come up with the story?
Wala, basta parang we just, it una pa lang kasi, it makes us kind of like credible to talk about it. Because we had a good experience in dating... The dating game.
And not just one good experience.
Marami.
Yeah. Veteran.
So I think, totoo,
not, I mean, for her, a lot. But, I'm a little bit chill with that shit, man. But, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Sam, marami yan.
I'm not shy. I'm not shy about it. Kasi totoo naman yun eh. Wala namang problema. It helps you talaga, learn how to meet people And kaya kapag may nagustuhan ka, sanay ka na. Alam mo na kung ano yung hinahanap mo. It really narrows down everything. Diba? Kasi kung hindi ka sanay mag-meet ng mga tao, you get nervous easily, you're not comfortable talking to strangers, di mo alam kung anong gagawin sa first date. Diba?
Di mo alam kung anong gagawin sa... I don't think I've ever met anyone na ganun.
Syempre, they won't show you. Ano ka ba?
That's true. So, bagay.
Diba?
I guess I don't know. I might be able to tell.
Yes, but
yeah, I think that's why but I know that's why we're called stories after swiping. We want to tell. We want to talk about everything that happens after swiping right. A lot of people tend to get the impression na pagka swipe right mo, yun na, okay na. You know what I mean? But it's not. There's actually still a chance for complete and utter fucking failure, man. You know, and there could still be a chance for it to be a complete waste of time, or in our case, there could still be a chance for it to be a complete goddamn success. You know, so we want to talk about those stories. We want to make it visible to everyone, and we want to inspire people. Once again, make everybody laugh.
Yes.
You know, give everybody hope. And I think the most important message that I want to talk about here for our vision was that vision that you
dream. I know that vision. Parang ano.
Yeah, right.
May vision.
We wanna bring people together.
Yes, bring people.
We want to bring in one sentence. Stories after swipe right. When you hear about it, when we talk about it, it means bringing people together. Okay, bringing people together online, offline, through stories, through playful banter. Intimate, inspirational dialogue, all of that.
Yes.
Okay, so we really pour our hearts out into this, and it's just something beyond what we would call a passion project. You know what I mean? And I think we're kind of beyond the passion project stage.
It stems from being a passion project, but we're ready to make it bigger.
Yes, and going back to what I had said earlier, which is extremely important, why people who do have a podcast should treat it like a business, because that would give you the strategy for you to be able to scale it, for you to be able to, if your dream is to be a full-time podcaster, you can actually do that if you treat your podcast like a business.
Yes.
And I think that's one of our unique value propositions. And that's one of our advantages when we got into the podcast game attempting to breach the market, is because the two of us are entrepreneurs. Hardcore fucking entrepreneurs, So we know what the process is, we know what the strategy is, and we just want you to know that we've got something super inspirational, super great in store for you, and we hope you'll continue listening to Stories After Swipe Right.
More than that, for me, it's also a passion project for us because it brings us closer as a couple, diba? It allows us to get to know each other deeper. It's a project that we share, we pour our hearts into it, and so it allows us to get to know each other better, become closer. And
the accountability.
Yeah, the accountability is there. Yes. Actually, we want to just give a quick shout out to our friends. Actually. We have a couple good friends na couple sila. Si Jack and si Iban. If you guys are here, or if you guys will see this, they gave us this card game. Kita ba? Ayan. Our Moments. It's a couple card game. Ayan, I'll show you. So what you do is you pick hindi kita masyado maliwanag. Ayan. So, it has questions. And you're just gonna answer. Oops. Ano ba yan? Ayan. You just answer. Diba? Parang getting to know lang. Let's try it. Para makita nila. So, this is
our moments are for couples.
Yes. It's a couples game.
Yes. And
so, kung meron kayong mga prospect, you can play this with them.
So, we're gonna shuffle it. Okay, we're gonna shuffle it really quick. And then, I guess, we can do like 3 questions each?
Sige, bilisan lang natin ang
Sige, so,
fast question. Ako muna?
Yeah, syempre.
Have you ever had to make a public apology?
Oh.
Public apology? Hindi naman yata. Mabait kasi ako. Hindi ako masyadong pasaway. But the closest to that is ano ba, sa mga I don't know, yung sa group meetings, mga ganon, where you had to take accountability for your mistakes. Actually, we want to also bring this apology languages, diba, sa podcast. So you guys know there are 5 love languages, right? Meron ding apology languages. So sometimes kasi our way of apologizing is not the way that our partner wants to, to have it or to receive it.
Exactly. I'm not entirely sure.
We're gonna talk about that.
What the apology languages are?
Expressing regret. Parang repentance. Oh, I subscribe to Dr. Gary Chapman.
Yeah.
So may
that would be good.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Sige. So my question is, if you had an extra $100 to spend on yourself every week, what would you do? So if you had an extra $100 to spend on myself, if I had an extra $100, what is that? What's the dollar rate right now? What is it?
47.
48. So 4,700. Tama ba? Yung computation ko. It's 4,700. An extra every week. I'd probably spend it on the podcast.
Totoo ba? Parang hindi naman.
Yeah, I think I spend it on the podcast and food. Yeah, snacks.
Okay.
Quarantine snacks. Spend it on the podcast and quarantine snacks. I'd spend it on paid ads for the podcast.
Paid ads.
Yeah, paid ads for the podcast and bringing quarantine snacks, man. All right. For you. Can
you tell when someone is lying? Absolutely. Ano ka ba? Magaling ako mag-spot ng lies.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Sige, just parang may crash course. Joke lang.
Sige.
You guys know, yung series before na Lie to Me. If you guys are familiar with that. It's a series. It's a forensic series. So, yung bida, he studies micro-expressions. Kasi mayroong universal micro-expression. So, you would know when someone...
What is that, like body language?
Body language. Pero yung micro-expression, 2 seconds lang siya. 1 to 2 seconds lang siya. And it's universal. Kunwari, the way you express disgust. Ganyan. May lip movement. Anyway, I studied that too. So, yun. Mag-ingat ka. Bawal magsinungaling.
I don't need to worry about that because I don't lie to you anyway. But, sige.
No, but seriously, yes. Okay. Minsan, I just say that, sa ibang bagay. Sometimes you just say yes, pero sa totoo lang, alam mo naman when someone is lying. And I'm sure a lot of girls or women, yan, mga expert lie detector. Kaya advice ka sa mga lalaki, huwag na kayo mag-lie. Pag tinanong nila, alam na nila yan.
What would you...
They already know. They're just waiting for you to come clean. Yeah. Diba? Would you guys agree? Just need to come clean, right?
What would you say on for women, I guess? How to tell if a guy or a potential match is lying to you online? Lying online? Like sa dating app. Like how
Like usap pa lang? Text pa lang?
Yeah. So usap pa lang. So you mentioned kasi micro-expressions, right?
So hindi mo nakikita.
Yeah, hindi mo nakikita.
Okay, yeah.
So how would you...
I think if it's not cohesive, yung iba-iba yung version ng story. Oo, ganun. And also, when you feel na may dati sa experience ko, yung may ere, yung gusto lang mag-show off, and you're like, totoo ba? Parang hindi naman.
What does that mean?
Just being mayabang. Lying, okay?
That makes sense.
Diba?
Also, I guess,
pero
background checks din.
Deal breaker ko yun talaga. Deal breaker ko yung lying. So guys, okay, huwag kayong mag-lie sa mga partners nyo and even the potential partners. Bad po yun.
Yes.
Okay?
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
What am I bored of? Seriously?
Of me?
Shut up. I'm freaking hanging out with you 24/7. That's a little bit boring.
Whatever.
What am I bored of right now? I suppose lately it would be the fact that I'm aware that I have a lot more time to use. Especially now na naka-quarantine tayo and may pandemic and all that, you have more time in the day kasi hindi ka na lumalabas para mag-commute, papasok. For everyone who's working from home, like me, all right? I'm totally bored. What's that?
Si Ate Millet, she said, I don't lie to my partner. Alam mo yan. Uy,
Oh, that's good. Very
tama
good.
lang yon. Never lie to your partners.
Okay.
Masama po yun.
Even if you're bored, don't lie to your partner.
Don't
All
lie
right.
to your partner.
So yeah, now that I have more time in a day, I literally try to fill it up with a lot of things. Did you mention in the podcast that I send you a to-do list?
Oh yeah, you send me your schedule every day.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah. So I have this Excel sheet. It's a calendar, and it has my entire schedule by the fucking hour, man. So I send that to M daily.
Yeah, na-pressure na rin tuloy ako gumawa ng daily schedule.
Actually, ginawan kasi kita.
Oh, ginawa niya ako ng calendar, which is
Yeah.
very nice and sweet.
So yun, I'm bored that I have a lot of time, and I guess that is one of the reasons why we got into, podcasting and other things as well. Konti na nga lang magbenta ng pagkain si M online, which I've been telling her for the longest
PM
freaking
is the
time.
key. Kasi busy pa ako, ano ka ba?
But yeah, so yun lang, I'm bored that I have a lot of time on my hands, and I'm not the type of person who likes that I have a lot of time on my hands. I like to be doing a lot of things, just like M, which is why I believe our compatibility is super great.
Yeah.
So we like to keep ourselves productive.
Okay.
Right?
One last
that's me.
round.
Okay. You ready for yours? Here you go.
Oh my gosh! Nakakaloka naman to. Ay, maganda to. Guys, makinig kayo. What are the 2 biggest lessons you've learned from previous relationships?
I was waiting for an interesting question.
Guys, makinig kayo. Guys,
Hindi namin
makinig kayo.
pinipili.
Maganda to. What are the 2 biggest lessons you've learned from previous relationships? Get a pen and a paper. Ano na to? Totoo na
Pwede
to?
ko rin bang sagutin?
Charot! Sige, pwede. Sige na lang yung last question
Sige,
natin.
sige.
And then, let's tie it together to how we're gonna make our relationship even better.
Shut ka muna.
Okay. Cheers. Okay. For those who don't know, I only had 2 relationships, okay? The first one is bata pa ako, high school pa lang ako. So, hindi yan masyadong counted. And the other one is very long term, 9 years kami. Yung tagal. Whoa, 9 years. Whoa, grabe. Okay. Sakit sa ulo. Hindi naman. But, the biggest, 2, diba? 2 biggest lessons I've learned. Number 1 is you have to always stay true to yourself. What do I mean by stay true to yourself? Kapag alam mo, number 1, naka-compromise yung values mo. Slow down and rethink everything. Okay? Stay loyal to yourself in a way na, are you sure that this is what you want? Are you sure? Ask yourself questions like that na, sigurado ka ba na ganito yung gusto mong relationship? Ito ba talaga yung gusto mo? Right? Is this the partner that you want? Are you, kumbaga parang, examine yourself and really don't be scared to ask yourself questions like that. Even if it shakes you to the core. Kasi, at the end of the day, if hindi ka masaya or if may doubts ka, magka-crumble yung relationship. Kung hindi man, ikaw, as a person, as a woman, for me, magka-crumble ka. And you will end up questioning every single moment that you are in that relationship.
Kawawa ka naman.
Hindi. Okay lang yon. And then the other one, so that's 1, stay loyal to your true self. Number 2 is, pwede ba yun? You will know when siya na yun. You will know. And you will also, palitan ko, i-rephrase ko, pagandahin ko lang.
Okay.
Ano ba yun? You cannot find love where it isn't, and you cannot deny it where it is. Does that make sense?
Isa pa nga.
Ulit. Sulat
Galing
naman.
na.
Isulat nyo. Okay?
Galing
You
na.
cannot find love where it isn't. And you cannot deny love where it is.
Is that from yours truly?
Oo.
Oh,
Kamali-mali
that's
po
cool,
nga yung grammar
man.
ko. Totoo naman yan. So, kapag ka masyado ng maraming questions, when you know it's really not working, buksan nyo na yung mga mata nyo. Talaga. Buksan na natin yung mga mata natin and just say that maybe I really deserve better and I should go for it. And this person maybe deserves better too because I'm being crappy
That
about
makes
this
a lot of
relationship.
sense.
You know, it's not
It's a
only
double-edged sword.
it's not only because hindi siya para sa'yo. Maybe you're also not the person. Mismatch lang talaga. It doesn't mean na mas masama siyang tao or mas masama kang tao. There's nothing like that. It's just a mismatch.
Yep.
So, buksan mo lang yung mata mo and just decide for yourself na ito ba talaga yung gusto ko? If it is, good. If it isn't, then maybe I just need to have courage to move forward. Ayan, sabi ni Shops. Can you click and show?
What she
Diba? You need to be shaken to your core to realize things. Alisin ang helmet para mauntog, sabi ni Steph. Totoo. Buksan
Oh
ang
my
mata!
God, that's a good piece of advice.
Diba?
Alisin ang helmet para mauntog.
Yan, si Jessica. Kinote niya para sa atin. You cannot find love where it isn't and you cannot deny love where it is.
Wow.
Thanks for quoting, Jessica. Para madali.
Ang
Ilagay
galing
mo
mo
lang.
naman.
Totoo naman yun.
How
Diba?
do you follow up with something like that, man?
Kasi diba,
Nahihirapan
and
mo
actually
pa
yun din
ako.
yung ina-advise ko sa mga friends ko. Yung alam mo yung parang they trying to justify the actions of the guy. Pag hindi, pero kasi gusto niya, sabi niya like naman niya ako, pero he treats you like this.
Yeah.
Diba? Sabi niya love naman niya ako, pero he treats you like shit. I'm like, yo, that's not love. Diba? That's not love.
Huwag ka magalit.
Hindi ako galit.
Baka
I'm just
sumigaw, ha?
passionate about
Baka
it.
sumigaw, ha? Okay?
Yun yung 2 lessons. And I mean, as much of a roller coaster as it was, I'm very grateful for that because it led me to you. It prepared me for you. Naalala mo yung sinabi ko nung first time nag-meet? I
Yeah.
feel, yun.
What?
I feel equipped, di ba? Sabi ko.
To deal with me. 'Cause
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm such a fucking pain in the ass.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. But what I'm trying to say is it's good that you came in my life at that moment na marunong na ako. Kilala ko na yung sarili ko with love, with relationships. Obviously, I still have, I'm still learning along the way, but because of my previous relationships and my previous experiences, I feel like I'm very ready. I know myself. I know what I can give. And how I will
Galing
give it to
naman.
you best. Ang swerte mo talaga sa akin.
Okay, tayo dyan. Alright. So,
ikaw naman. Sige na nga.
ang hirap naman sundan yan.
Galingan
No,
mo.
man.
Ano ba yan? Hira naman.
How did you start by? You started by how many relationships you've had before?
Hindi, you can just go straight away. No
Okay,
problem.
sige. Okay lang ba yun?
Mm-mm.
I, on the other hand, what was the question? Sorry. What are the two biggest
Dinadodge yung
lessons
question.
you've learned from previous relationships? Okay.
If you
So-
guys have lessons too, i-share nyo
Yes,
sa amin.
please share.
Masarap
Please
kayo
share.
kakwentuhan.
Number one, I think obviously I'm speaking from a man's perspective, so I'm gonna come from there. All right. For the guys, have a fucking purpose. And if you're writing this down, include the word fucking. That's how much I stress the importance of this. Okay, so have a purpose. Have a purpose. There's nothing more attractive about a guy or a woman who's got it going on, who has a purpose in their life. This is what I want to do. This is my vision of myself. This is who I want to become. How can you complement that? How can you support me? Have a purpose. Don't be someone who is standby, man. Don't be someone who's unemployed. Someone, yeah, maybe you've got a lot of money and all of that, but if you don't have a purpose, if you're not pulled by something, if you're not drawn or magnetized by something that is greater than you're being greater than you, then I don't think there's any way that a woman can be more attracted to you just than just who you are. You know, for me, it's not just about being who I am. It's about where I'm going. Okay, this is from Steph. Direction in life, plans to make life with your partner,
Or
why
what?
better or easier?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Before that, what I'm actually talking about is also having purpose for yourself. You know, like me, I want to
Self
become
first.
yeah.
Make
You
yourself
know,
whole.
I wanna fucking become a world class speaker, man. World class motivational speaker. That's the vision that I had for myself, and I want to be able to have a company that is global. I want to be able to put myself in a position where I'm extremely happy with the experience and memories that I make as well. So, have a fucking purpose, guys. Like, seriously, there's nothing more attractive. Thank you, Jessica. There's nothing more attractive than having a purpose in life. Okay? And secondly, what I had learned was I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. And I think I've told you it before. It's about love people the way they need to be.
Yes.
Did I tell you this?
Yeah.
When did I tell you that? So
May term ka dyan eh. It's on your OKC. Nakalimutan ko lang.
was it on my OKC?
It's on your
Holy
OKC
shit.
profile. I just forgot.
So love people the way that you need to be, the way that
they need to be loved.
What does that mean?
Yes.
All of us, like for example, I'll use. Is it okay if I use this as an
Of
example?
course.
M needs to be loved a certain way, and I have my own belief of love. So I'm gonna put my own belief of love aside and love M the way that she needs to be loved. All right. All of us have our own beliefs about love, about a lot of things.
Our
Love
own
specifically.
standards.
Standards,
right? Yeah.
beliefs, the way we operate, the way we function around it, everything. Okay. But to love is actually selfless.
Mm.
It goes outward. Okay. So my understanding of it is if my belief of love is having a purpose and, following that purpose, but M, the way she needs to be loved right now is for me to put my purpose on a pause and to just, be with her or hug her for a moment. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, going back to the main takeaway of our podcast earlier on asking great questions, empowering questions, you may want to ask yourself if you have a potential match online or even if you're married or if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend right now, ask your significant other, how does this person need to be loved?
That's right.
How do you need to be loved? How do you need to be loved? And tell me that. Inform me about it.
That's
Educate me about it.
Communicate.
Yeah.
Hindi lang, tama.
So, go ahead.
I remember there was this time, naalala mo nung when we just got together. When we're under one roof na, sa 7, di ba? Yeah. We kind of had this conversation where I asked him, so ano na yung natutunan mo about loving me? Naalala mo, nag-exchange tayo ng question na ganon.
We did.
Tapos ako, ang sagot ko, natutunan ko about loving Alex as, we go along. Na, number 1, he needs his space. Sobrang valuable sa kanya yung space. Ako, very clingy ako na person. As in, gusto ko nakadikit lagi sa kilig. Ganon! Super clingy ako. And kahit marami akong ginagawa, I don't really mind pausing. Kasi nga, very clingy ako. But I've learned that when Alex wants his distance, his space, it doesn't mean he loves me less.
Exactly. Don't take it I always tell her not to take shit personally. It's not you. It really isn't you.
So, and then when he jokes about these mga nakakaasar na jokes or mapanglait na jokes, that's his kasi style, yung humor niya and lambing niya. So I've learned na, sige, okay, don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Tawa lang. So, and then, kasi nga, it's not about your standards of love. Sabi nga ni Shops, di ba, can you show that? Knowing your partner's love language is necessary.
Exactly. And also how they need to be loved.
Yes.
Especially at the heat of the moment.
Mm-mm.
Okay, your partner will need a different, I guess, a different love language every single day, every day.
Ayan. There are a couple of people. You want to share something else? Kasi gusto ko sana basahin yung mga shinare ng mga
I think I'm good. So thank you, Jessica, for quoting that for us. For everyone to
love
really
people the
appreciate
way
it.
they need to be loved.
We have two more
Wait
comments.
lang.
Here.
Naalala ko lang yung love people the way they need to be loved. Naalala ko yung friend ko, si Ate Jen, the who daw. I would always tell her, ano yan may spaghetti analogy ako. O, diba?
What's that?
Spaghetti is like, parang yung love. Okay, so ganito. Kunwari, ako nagluluto ng spaghetti, ikaw nagluluto ka rin ng spaghetti. Okay? Pero, hindi naman always magkalasa yung spaghetti natin. Spaghetti ng McDonald's and Jollibee, magkaiba yung lasa. But we can't say na just because iba yung lasa nun, hindi na yon spaghetti.
That's true.
Same with love. Just because iba yung way niya ng pagsasalita or communicate ng love doesn't mean
that
hindi na yung love.
Exactly. That was good. Oh
my God. Analogy. Yes. Spaghetti analogy. Right. Diba? Parang, just because hindi siya kalasa nung sanay ka na lasa, it doesn't mean na hindi siya love or hindi siya spaghetti.
Although it's good to be aware na, malaman mo din sa
kung ano ba yung gusto ng lasa.
Or potential match mo. Ano ba yung preference mo sa
matamis
spaghetti,
ba? Matamis ba? Or
so,
may hot dog ba? May corned beef ba?
Which is the essence of love people the way they need to be loved.
Right.
Because love, I believe, is not just it's not about you anymore. It's not about me anymore. It's not it's about the other person.
Yes.
And being able to put that aside is put yourself aside for the other person is, I think it's extremely necessary for long-term relationships.
That's true.
Which I think the two of us are ready for. And one thing that I want to end with before I go with the comment section is no man has ever choked from swallowing their own pride. Okay. No man has ever choked from swallowing their own pride. So, I say this because I come from a past position where I've had a lot of pride in, it was damaging to my relationships. But now that I know better, and I'm glad that I met you, now that I know better, I'm more equipped.
Equipped. We like that word, no?
It's just the perfect time. Whatever it is you guys have been through, or maybe are going through right now, you need to know that you're now being equipped to be able to cater.
Yes.
Tama ba yung word? To be able to cater for that special someone in the future. So even if it's hard, or
that's right.
Especially if it's fucking hard, I just know that you're being equipped to be able to handle your significant other in the near or distant, hopefully near future, right?
So again, let's quickly just go through the comments. We've had wonderful. Let's start with yung kay Shops. Sa pinakang higher pa. Yan, biggest lesson.
This one?
Yes, biggest lesson learned. Love yourself first. One cannot pour from an empty cup. Tama yan. Realize your partner is not your personal clown, not your paid life coach, not your ATM. Learn to fill yourself with love and confidence. Never rely on your partner, ever. Remember, you are whole. No one can make yourself that. I agree. Okay. I've always believed kasi, and Alex knows this. Sige, remove mo na. Yeah. So I've always believed na ang secret to wonderful and harmonious relationships is two people coming together na they're both happy individually, or as happy as they could be.
Yeah.
Right? That they're not seeking
two happy people coming together.
Yeah, so they're not looking to this partner to fill a void. Hindi ganon dapat. Okay?
That's true.
Because wouldn't it be nice to be blissful or to be happy and to find someone who can meet you in that level, and then you go on and have this harmonious relationship together?
I think there's a quote floating around on Facebook. People, you can only meet people as deeply as they have met themselves.
Exactly, yeah. So I agree with Shops. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Your partner is there to complement your life, not to build your life.
That's
for
true.
you.
That's
Tama
true.
ba? And that's what I always hope to do for you. Yee! To
Thank
just
you.
support you, just magnify your best self.
Thank you.
And the worst, even. You know, I'm here. I'm down.
Okay lang ba, Shops, mag-disagree ako sa'yo?
Oh, yo! Bakit?
My partner, Em, she's a clown, man. Just a person.
You're a clown.
Yeah, so, I like my humor is, I like to make fun of stuff.
Of me. By stuff, he meant me.
So, don't take it personally. But yeah, I may have to disagree with you a little bit there. So, Em is one of the reasons why I love, or I am in love with this person, is because I can joke around with her like that.
Not really joke around
pissed
there.
off.
You're making
What?
fun of me. Not joke around. You're making fun.
Right?
But that's okay.
Without
I've
her
already
getting pissed off.
understood.
And I keep telling her, you can make fun of me, you can joke around me too.
And I've been saying I'm just not like that.
Yeah, so it's just part of our not chemistry, but compatibility.
Dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, dynamic as well. It's part of our compatibility that we're just a perfect fit like that. She doesn't get pissed off, and I love it. I love that you don't get pissed off about it.
Rintay ka, alam mo.
You know what I mean? But thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Shops, for that.
And then si Isabel, she said,
know your
partner's needs.
Absolutely.
May isa pa siyang sinabi. A man needs respect as much as he needs to breathe.
Mm-hmm. While women needs love. She needs to.
Yes. I remember, diba, I am an avid fan of Abraham Hicks. May sinasabi siya that men value freedom, women value security. Yan. Kaya nagkakaroon minsan ng clash. Kasi yung girl gusto niya i-nail si guy na gusto ko na to, lock na to, forever na to. I'm gonna do all that I can para tayo na forever. So, security. But the guy, yung tendency ng men is to value freedom. The moment they feel na nasasakal sila, nahihirapan sila. Diba? So, tama yun.
I think it's about finding the perfect balance.
Balance, yes.
In both. Thank you, Isabel. Bianca something
says,
interesting.
Lesson learned. Ganda nito.
When you begin chasing the same person for 3
Parang personal story.
You're starting to
walk away from yourself. Yeah. Never chase. Lagi ko to sinasabi, and I know you'd always hate me for it. Yung sinasabi ko na, huwag kayong maghabol, bukbala sila.
Depende naman.
Lagi niya sinasabi, depende. Baka naman may side sila. Ako kasi...
And obviously, you're, it's I don't want to sound like an asshole, but guys, we're the ones doing the chasing. It's easier for you to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, come on.
Okay.
So,
para kasi sa akin, yun talaga yung standard ko lang for myself. The minute I feel like naghahabol ako, bala ka dyan. Ganon. Kasi parang...
So, di mawabulin.
Iba na ngayon.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's exactly what I thought.
Hindi. Pero kasi, kunwari sa single friends natin, di ba? Know your worth. To a certain level.
Easier said than done, guys.
Wait lang. To a certain point, okay lang maghabol. Okay? If there is something worth fighting for. Pag wala, bakit pa? Diba? If there is nothing worth fighting for, bakit ka magpapakahirap na habulin yung isang tao na ang onti naman ng value add sa buhay mo?
I think you put it perfectly.
Thanks, I know.
If it's worth fighting for.
Diba?
Kasi the way I see it, and obviously you guys have no obligation to listen to my opinion whatsoever, but the way I think about it is, I think you may be quitting too fast.
Depende.
Yun nga depende nga kasi if it's worth fighting for or not. So, only you can gauge that. So,
ako, ang personal gauge ko is kapag nafe-feel mo na palagi ka na lang depleted. Pag nauubos ka na,
true.
I think it's just time to wave the white flag.
Painom nga ng
Akin yan eh. Diba? If you feel depleted, if it really takes away so much from your life and your sanity, baka maybe it's time to put it to rest. Sabi nga nung isa kong friend, wait lang, nakalimutan ko yung quote. Ayun. Basta parang, sometimes you have to close doors, not because wala nang love or anything or whatever, but because, but because it's just simply not worth fighting for anymore.
How do you know?
Yun na nga, pagka defeated ka
But
na
what
mas
if you're,
madalas.
let's say, what if you're a couple already? Or what if you're married?
Pag married, maganda yan. Let's have a podcast for that.
Yeah, let's park that.
We'll park that.
Why?
Podcast.
Well, we're not married yet, so we're gonna really piece that together.
Yes.
Okay. But let's take a look at the other quote. Or
find a partner to
comment.
Compliment you. Tama! Find a partner to compliment you.
For sure.
O yan, ito si Ate Milet, may sinabi siya. Stop being a drama queen. I'm a drama queen.
Yeah, you have your moments.
Oo, ganun. And you know, Alex is a very patient person. Na
Not with everybody, but
okay.
Definitely.
You know, kasi kaya nga compliment kami. Si Alex kasi, mahilig siya mang-asar. Ako, mahilig ako mang-emotional blackmail. So, pagka magdadrama na ako yung mag-iiyak, he's gonna stop. And, you know.
Okay.
So, yun na compliment.
So
diba? Can you imagine kung forever lang kami nagdadrama or forever lang kami nag-aasaran? Hindi maganda yung ano ba?
Pero, yun nga.
Okay.
I think, stop being a drama.
For me,
what's yours?
Okay, stop being a drama. Can you put it muna? Yan.
Sige.
Kay Ate Malet yan galing. Thank you, Ate Malet. So, stop being a drama queen. I agree. Palagi ko ito sinasabi rin sa mga friends ko. Okay? You want to deal, especially with relationships, you want to deal with problems in the relationship with a clear mind. As clear as you could have. Okay? Pag kasi dinaan mo sa drama, yung mga maliliit na bagay, and you make a big fuss.
Can we quickly define drama?
Out of it.
Like,
very emotional ka. You're crying,
okay.
you're ano ba to? Yung naghahalongkat ng past. Yung mga ganyan. You're bringing up the records of wrong. Yan, mga ganyan. Or yung tampo mo, pinoprolong mo.
You're unreasonable.
Crying.
Joking.
Oh, yo.
And then,
I think that I agree. Okay, stop being a drama queen because nobody likes a drama queen, to be honest, diba? Walang masasolve.
Yeah.
Walang masasolve pag puro drama. So, it's okay. It's good to have your moments, to acknowledge emotions. Yes, very much. You know, absorb it as best as you could. However, don't do anything, don't decide from a point of being overly emotional.
Whether good or bad?
Whether good or bad, okay. Yeah. Kunwari, mag-break ka na just because nag-away kayo or something. Diba? Relax ka muna, chill.
Wasn't our friend, the guy, Ibn, the guy who gave us this. So, he said something, was it last weekend that we met?
Yeah, last Monday,
said, last Monday. So, he said something along the lines of, it's okay to talk about it and to think about things that may be negative or dramatic or that might pose something in your relationship where you might feel negative about each other. Just don't be quick to act on it.
Yes, don't be... nga, naalala ko sinabi. Don't be quick, to act on it.
All right, so yeah, there you go.
That's true. That's
one
beautiful.
More thing that I want to plug there is also give space for drama din naman. Okay?
Oh, healthy din yon.
Yeah,
healthy din yon.
Don't be like, for example, if you look at your partner and he or she is like, my partner's super strong, my partner is my rock, my partner is, I can count on him or her for certain things to be able to keep us up. But what if there comes a day where, your partner is just fucking exhausted, man, and they just want to not do anything. They just want to, maybe they want to be dramatic about it. Maybe they want to, tear up a little bit about it. That's healthy too. You gotta give space for that. I think going back to what we were saying earlier, it's just a balance.
Balance.
Obviously you don't want someone who's consistently dramatic.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Diba?
You know,
Sobrang
also,
exhausting
you
yan.
don't want someone who is consistently insensitive or cannot feel anything.
Yes.
You know, cannot be, cannot, how do you say this? Cannot reciprocate
Mm-mm.
with drama or something like that.
I remember no same weekend that we were out with Iban, and I said that one thing that I wish, diba, sabi ko,
What was that?
yung that you be more comfortable with being vulnerable around me.
Ah, okay.
Okay, kasi I
Ito
know
pala yun. So she wanted to bring it up.
Naalala ko lang.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's very common naman for a lot of people na and I just really want to say na if you have a partner, I'm sure you'd also want me to be like that, to be my most authentic, even if it means being vulnerable self towards you.
Absolutely.
So, ganun din sa akin. Si Alex kasi, he's super headstrong and very, syempre he teaches stress management. So, you know, kaya niya to work around yung stress ng buhay and all the things, the shitty
For
things
a
that
living,
happen.
I get paid this
Yeah, so alam mo yun, sinistress management niya yung sarili niya. And ako, sometimes I feel like, yo, I'm here, okay? It's okay to tell me that your life is shitty at the moment or that this thing sucks. Yun nga. So I'm just trying to say, diba? Sa iba din. Oo, I know a lot of guys have that tendency.
For sure.
Na, you know, hindi sila comfortable. Ano ba yung tawag ng toxic masculinity? Yung hindi sila comfortable to show and express their emotions.
Is that called toxic masculinity?
Na parang pag umiyak ka bading. Ganun. Hello. Unang-una, gay people are amazing. Pangalawa, it doesn't equate to that, right?
Exactly.
So, for me, yun yung gusto kong na it's okay, cry if you need to. Healthy balance lang.
Yeah, exactly.
Meron naman isang funny story si Alex, nanonood kami ng video ni Tony Robbins. 10 minutes pa lang umiyak na.
Alin?
Yung Tony Robbins na video.
I am not your guru. Tony Robbins has a Netflix special called I Am Not Your Guru.
10 minutes pa lang umiyak
Fucking 10 minutes in the episode, I was
crying like a baby.
Crying like a little
Nagulat
bitch,
ako.
I was crying like a little bit. But yeah, you know, but because I felt like I was in a safe space to do so. Thank you. Because I felt like it was okay to be vulnerable. So, you know, I think that's another lesson that we could, I guess, are we calling these lessons? I guess this is another thing that we could put out there. Make sure that if you want to, you know, put in that balance in your relationship, make sure you create that atmosphere for it. Yeah, create a safe. Yeah. Yes. You know, thank you for saying that. Safe haven. I feel like I could fucking cry if I'm with her, but if it was any other person, fuck you, man. Like, why would I? You know what I mean? So create that safe space, that atmosphere, as well. True. For your partner to feel like, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna let my guard down. I'm gonna not be Superman for 10 minutes and just let you see this. You know?
Shop said, she used to be a drama queen, but I realized ego lang talaga yung pinakang enemy. Yes. Absolutely.
Eckhart Tolle, stuff helping. Emotions are good, but we need to learn how to balance those.
Yes. Emotions are good, but we need to learn how to balance. That's true.
Too much of something is bad naman talaga. You know, like for example, like us now, we're staying together 24/7, man. So I would like to go out. I would like to talk to other people. I would like to, you know, be myself. Okay, too much of something, good or bad, you know, can be bad for you.
Yes. Jessica said, I think women can be like that too sometimes. Yung hindi daw open and vulnerable. That's true.
That's true.
You know, sometimes I tend to do that also because si Alex kasi pinagtatawanan ako pag umiiyak ako. When I cry, he'd be like, stop crying.
Why crying?
No, but I agree. Minsan yung mga babae, they feel either, you know, one, they feel like hindi naman mamimit yung emotional need na meron sila, so they just don't show it. And
that really makes sense. Yung hindi nila ipapakita yung sorry, can I just paraphrase that? Hindi nila ipapakita yung vulnerable side nila because they don't feel that their emotional needs will be met. That's such a fucking whoa. Can you expound on that? Can you expound on
Yeah,
that?
so parang sayang lang yung effort mo because, di ba, even if you want to express how you feel, there's, at the back of your mind, parang feeling mo, hindi naman niya ma-absorb eh. Or he's not equipped, she's not equipped to handle that. So
ano
wag na
gagawin
lang.
natin?
Diba?
What do we do?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're with a partner, if this is with a partner, regardless, give them a fair chance to try.
A fair chance.
Give them a fair chance to try to be there for you, to show up for you, to support you.
Baka rin kasi ikaw yung nagde-deflect sa kanila. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
exactly, diba? So, yun.
That's
Yun
true.
yan.
That's true. I learned a lot from that. That was good. That was good. Very such a learning experience. Okay,
all
so
right, cool.
going back to what we were saying earlier, for those of us who stuck around for more than an hour, we said in the beginning that this podcast, this entire business, entire project, whatever we're calling it now, is something that helps keep us accountable. So I learned a lot of shit just by being in this live stream right now, to help further make our relationship better, So, yeah, I love this. I love this. Help us keep it, it helps us to be accountable for each other.
Yes.
I would not know certain things if we were not on this live stream right now. Really.
So, just before we end this live stream, of course, we again would like to thank everyone for listening to our pilot episode, for supporting Stories After Swipe Right, for being here in this live stream. And if you guys would like us to talk about certain topics, for example, yung top request natin yung ghosting and moving on.
Ghosting, yeah.
Yan. So, or ano pa ba yung mga nakukuha kong request? Yung how to form genuine connections na hindi... I guess yung problem pag online dating is masyadong may tendency maging very sexual lang yung relationship. So how do you form a connection that's more than physical? Ganon. So if you have other topics that you'd like us to talk about, be it pang single, pang couple, pang married, we'll do our best to talk about it. Of course, you're free to interact with us on our Facebook, on our Instagram. We're also on YouTube. So Stories After Swipe Right.
Yeah. So one of the goals that I don't think we mentioned earlier is that as much as possible, we want to be listener centered.
Yes.
So is it okay to release this information yung season 1 natin?
Sige.
Yeah, it's okay. So our one feedback that we got from the podcast is that bitin.
Oo nga.
Isang episode lang kasi ni-release namin.
Hindi ko alam kung bitin sila kasi we're funny or bitin sila because ng topic. Baka kasi natuwa sila sa mga
Baka nga. And then
kautuan natin.
So we just want everyone to know that we're new to this as well. I think it was just the other day where I was doing research on podcasts. I was working on it, and it's actually recommended pala to release between 3 to 5 episodes during your launch. Para hindi kayo magkaroon ng feedback na bitin nga. Pero yun nga, babawi kami. Okay, we're gonna take that feedback seriously and all the rest of the feedback that we got as well. So if you already had listened to our pilot episode, please give us that feedback. Thank you.
Sabi ni Jesus,
Oo nga.
Power couple na tayo. Binless na tayo ni Jesus.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Green. Jessica said.
Yun nga, give us that feedback. We, as much as possible, we want to make or position Stories After Swipe Right into a loyal and engaging online community. And the topics that we want to build, we don't want it to come from us. We want it to come from you, and then kami na bahala mag-curate. Nun. Kami na bahala to inspire you, to make you laugh, to give you hope. But we want the things that we talk about to come from you. And that's why we take this feedback seriously. So, yung plano namin for yung season 1, we plan to release 3 episodes. Or rather, to yung frequency pala ng episodes, to make it shorter, right? So, we released the first episode September 11.
12.
September 12. And just to let everyone know, October 3 pa. Tama ba? October
Malapit
3.
na yun.
October 3 pa yung season 1 namin. And instead of waiting a long time to release episodes, we're gonna do it once every other week. I think we talked about once every other week. So it's gonna be a lot shorter, and you'll be hearing from us more. And after each episode, we plan to go on a live like this and just talk to you guys about it.
Oo, kwentuhan lang. Kasi di ba podcast, hindi naman live yung podcast. So,
Exactly.
maganda may kwentuhan after. So, Jessica has a question. I think this is good as a topic sa, isang episode. How do you communicate the language of love from a distance?
Which language of love?
We kind of did this sa webinar dati, no? We mentioned.
We did. We can talk about it, in more detail, and something that doesn't sound too webinary, whatever, right? Something that sounds more like us. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, we could definitely talk about that. I think that could be along the lines of love and apology languages.
Yeah, I really want us to do
gear namin towards you. So we're gonna make it relevant to what's going on right now with the pandemic.
Yeah, so if you have suggestions for us or questions, now even if it's sobrang specific sa experience nyo, diba?
Yeah.
Like, kunwari, yun nga, yung kaninang mga nag-message.
Share your stories, guys. We have stories after swipe right.
Nag-message na kunwari, paano mo ba malalaman kung gusto ka niya or hindi, ganyan. Even if it's as specific as that, we're gonna do our best.
We want you to also know, now that we're here, we're not trying to position ourselves as fucking experts here. Okay? We're on the same boat as you are. If not, we were on the same boat as you are, or we are going to that same boat. Okay, so we're just here to have a conversation, to talk about some of the difficult topics that are not being talked about right now. So, just ask us questions too, and to the best of our ability, we'll answer them, and we'll also be able to provide what experience that we have had about it before, and hopefully that can help you.
Yes. All right.
Diba?
So once again, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. Thank you also for listening to our pilot episode. If you haven't, just go to our Spotify podcast, Stories After Swipe Right. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So follow us at Stories After Swipe Right because we will post a lot of fun things for you guys. Mga tips, mga kwento.
Yeah.
So there will be so many things for you guys.
Anong sabi ni Shops?
Podcast topic. To have standards or just be casual and drop expectations. Ooh.
That's nice.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that sa season 1 kasi we're gonna, I think, talk about the online dating, getting to know stage.
I love it.
Yay! Awesome! Okay. Thank you, everyone. Right? I just like to again, end this live stream with a huge thank you to everyone, and we're here for you. Yeah, that's what I want to say. We're here for you. We're here to be a friend in this
Yeah. Can I be more hysterical about
dating
it?
journey.
Fucking love you guys, man. We love all our listeners. Thank you. We looked at our metrics on Spotify. There were so many our pilot episodes. Ang dami nakinig, ang dami nag-support. Not just our friends, but to the people that the strangers that we don't know who are supporting us, who might even be listening to this or who will be watching this. Sincere, heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. We will do our best to give you more, not only more, but to give you what you want to hear from a podcast. So,
alrighty.
Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So, once again, we are Stories After Swipe Right. My name is Em.
I'm Alex.
And we'll see you guys very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was so good.